Sake. Hey guys, hey Hans, hey Cypher, hey Brody. Give me a second, folks. My go live notification has decided to break, so I've had to do it manually. I didn't realise it had also not updated my stream details. So I'm just hurriedly fixing that. Go. That should be done now. I pressed the thing and it was like, yeah, I've done the thing. And I looked and it had not done the thing. Okay. I think that's everything now. We all good? I think we're all good. And now that's done. Okay. Hey RNG, how you doing? Okay. Let's do this properly now that I've finished fucking about trying to get things to, you know, update properly. Hello Hans, hello Geist, hello Cypher, hello Brody, hello Torpor, hello RNG. Hope you're all doing well. I am sorry about the little bit of scrabbling at the beginning there. Oh. No sign of Hero Quest. That's not good. Should still work. Unless I don't have the thing on this screen. Okay. I'm not even fixed my fucking camera. There we go. Hello everyone. There we go. I've done everything now. There is nothing else I could have forgotten to do. definitely sorted the stuff on the bot out. I don't know if the sound commands that are still in Stream Elements are going to work, because Stream Elements and OBS have had an update tonight. So if you redeem a sound like Cypher has there with Hero Quest and it doesn't work, I am terribly sorry. It may be that the update to Stream Elements has broken some of my stuff. I'll just have to look into it. So we're back on our Squiggin. Whilst I've been waiting for a reasonable time. Oh, that's wonderful, Hans. I mean, if you were running late, it would be perfectly fine. Like, I tend to get to places early because I'm one of those weird anxious people that does that. But I am completely understanding that public transport fucking sucks. And that sometimes life gets in the way. So if you were running late for something, as long as you let us know, I'd be like, oh, that's okay. Hey, Tids, how you doing? Got a button for Tids. Don't have to type its name out. Which is handy. Oh no. Don't do this to me again, Stream Elements. Okay, we'll see if that behaves itself. I may have to fuck around with Stream Elements quite hard if that happens again. Ah, I see, Tids. Yeah, fair enough. That's perfectly fine. And no worries. I'm trying to get into the habit of shouting out the streamers in my chat. That is very true, Hans. Yeah, so I've done a little bit on this off stream. Haven't we just listened to this? I'm gonna... Yeah, well, I've had the shout out command for ages, but only me and my moderators can use it because it stops people just, you know, turning up and randomly abusing it. And it feels weird to tell you to shout yourself out, so I have buttons for my moderators so that I can shout my moderators out personally, as it were. Well, it was you that put it in the jukebox, Hans, so you should do. Yeah. So anyway, off stream. Thank you, Cypher. I have done a little bit of shading work, as you can probably see. I've missed one. Yeah. Do that now. But what I've done is I've taken some really heavily watered down Cantor Blue, and I've just sort of, where we've got these sort of areas where there's two bits of the squig that meet, where there would be a little bit of a shadow, just very carefully gone around them with the really watered down Cantor Blue, just to give it a bit of depth. Now, I'm wondering if I should paint these as horns rather than, like, protrusions. Jukebox is that far behind. I had 3 tracks left from last week. So it's not that the jukebox is far behind, it's just that these tracks haven't been played yet. Hey, Cyborg. Thank you so much for being subscribed for 21 months. I am not reading your joke out. In fact, before we go any further, I'm just gonna I'm going to pause the music for a second. Sorry, this is going to get serious and it's not going to be nice or cheerful or pleasant to hear about. And I do tend to try and keep these streams as pleasant as possible. But the situation in Ukraine right now is fucking dire. And people aren't doing anything about it. It's been fucking dire for years. Ukraine has been used as a bargaining chip. It's been stepped on. The people have been systematically wiped out over generations. And you may think, what the fuck do you care? My grandfather came to this country when he was 13 years old. He was a child during Holodomor. He survived, miraculously, one of the most brutal things that ever happened to that country. But he refused to ever speak about his childhood. He never, ever wanted to speak about what happened when he lived in Ukraine. In the country he was born in, the country that he called home, even to his dying day. Refused to speak about it. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older and started learning the history of Ukraine and what had happened to the people that lived there that I began to understand why that was. Disharmonia, very, very well known within the community. 40k artist, brilliant, wonderfully talented artist. Lives in Kiev. She is suffering through this right now. She is right on the brink of it all. And she is posting as much as she can so that people outside of Ukraine that want to do something know where they can go to provide support. I don't have the link to hand because I wasn't expecting to have to do this. But yeah, post the link, Cyborg. But if you are in a position to be able to support the people of Ukraine, please do. Because they need all the fucking help they can get right now. This is a terrible, terrible situation, and it's looking like it's only going to get worse. And my heart goes out to every single one of them. Because this should never have been allowed to happen. I would politely ask that folks in my chat refrain from making any jokes about the situation that's going on. I've already had to deal with somebody making light of the situation today. And it's not put me in the best moods, I've got to admit. So, yeah, just be aware, be considerate, and if you can, only if you can, please try and help them out. And if nothing else, signal boosting's free. Get the word out there, please. For the sake of the people of Ukraine. Right. We're now going to return to our regularly scheduled, relaxing hobby time with some nice music, okay? But I needed to get that out there. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. And thank you, Cyborg, for posting the link into the chat there. Thank you, Cypher. Really, it's not me that needs the hug. Hey, Buff, how you doing? I really do feel for him. I do. It's a dire situation to be in. I really, really hope that some good comes of it. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Cypher. So, okay. Back to Squigs. So, yeah, I've gone over this wing on the inside with some just Cantor Blue, not watered down or anything like that, because I went over it with the Cantor Magic Blue mix. I did Cypher, and I will be talking about them in a little bit. I was going to talk about them straight away, but then I did some painting on this off stream and wanted to update everyone on what I've been up to. Yeah, so I put the Cantor Magic Blue mix on this inside wing, and then realised I much preferred the inside wing just with the Cantor on it. So I'm trying to get it back so that it matches this one. Obviously, I've added the shading in. I'm thinking about painting these so that they're bone rather than sort of, I do not like this phrase, fleshy protrusions. And I've gone over some of the bone bits because they looked a little bit sparsely painted. So that's where we're up to with this fella. He's actually not that far off being finished, I don't think, in terms of what's there. And now, yes. Do you think Carnosaurs like getting pets? I suppose if you pet them in the right place, Buff. Everybody loves a good scratch, don't they? Especially when they're itchy. Like, if they've got, like, an itch that they just can't quite reach, I bet they'd like that. And, yeah, ew, for the meat stalks there. Well done, Cyborg, that is grotesque. I'm horrified and proud. One sounds like an idea because I use those card horns whenever possible for my characters. Cool. Okay then. I will paint them as horns then. And yes, so the lovely Cypher of our chat fame, among other things, sent me the RTLW Boom Pets, which are basically like little mechanical squigs. And these were two little friends that were on my wish list. They're very cute. This is one of them. Oh, yeah, please excuse the state of my nails. I have been chewing my hands like nobody's business this week. I have been very rarely without a toothpick in my gob, just to stop me from chewing my fingers, because I've made a few of them bleed. So I'm really, really sorry about the state of my hands. Yeah, this one's super cute. Cute little face. I'm going to put the bits for it back in its little zippy bag so that I don't get the pieces mixed up. It's even got like a little wind-up key. Very cute. I don't do it by choice, Cypher. It's a stress reaction. And I have done it since I was a child, so there's no getting me out of that habit now. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it, Hans? And this is the other one. Very excitable little face. Oh, don't worry. Yeah, no. I do worry. That's part of the problem. But I will get my hands back on track at some point. No, you don't fail at typing, Cypher. You're fine. I have missed far more important words than worry in sentences before. Trust me. And it was an easy correction anyway. Hello, Kian. I don't know if I said hello to you yet. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Hans. So I started hyper-focusing on Eldari, God, Killer, Mentia, Kane. I mean, fair, Kian? Any particular aspect? Or just, like, in general? Yes, I am shading the butt. But, yeah. This squig has the most shapely bottom of any of the squigs that I've painted so far, I think. Except for maybe Bob the Destroyer, because he had quite a surprising amount of junk in his trunk for such a small squig. Bob the Destroyer and his shiny metal ass. So I don't even know if the camera will be picking up what this watered down Cantor is doing for the mini, but trust me, it is having an effect. We get the right bit of him in focus, there we go. It's really difficult with a model of this size. Okay. We're doing this, are we? So the jukebox has decided that it's only ever going to play one track, and then it's going to stop. And last time we had this problem, I had to restart OBS to get it to play nicely. So I'm just going to have to cope with it tonight. It's up there with Mothman. It is up there with Mothman, isn't it? It's a bottom that would make Mothman jealous, I think. Do you think this squig gets like turning the music up a little bit because it's a bit quiet for me? Actually, is it quiet for you folks as well? I'm gonna wait and see if I get a response to that. Yeah, it's quiet. Okay. Don't know what volume it's supposed to be at either. Jish. Okay, how's that? Is that too loud now? Or is that alright? Better. Good. Glad to hear it. I'm guessing Torpor put this in? Yeah. Very good choice. Thank you very much, Torpor. So what I'm going to do on the feet, because I've not actually done any shading on the feet yet, is I'm going to use the watered down Cantor first to add some slightly darker areas. And then I'll get the unwatered down Cantor. To add some deeper shadows in the creases. And I'm going to try really hard not to use the Psycho for any of this, because I forgot to finish setting up the Psycho counter. I did most of the legwork for it last week, and then just
get nice and moist for me, won't you?
Okay. I am aware that this is probably going to end up being another one of those horrendously embarrassing clips that you folks like to to make of my streams when I say anything that could be even remotely considered as an innuendo. But I am really, really proud of the shading on its bum. That is a pleasingly painted bottom. I'm happy with that. Okay. Yeah, all of my sound commands are just fucked. That's unhelpful. It's a butt to be proud of. It is indeed, Cypher. Okay, Mum, hello. Thank you for the hydrate, and for the stretch, and for being subscribed for 22 months. Fucking hell. That's nearly 2 years, jeez. That's... wow. Yeah, thank you very much. So, that was my hydrate. Here is my stretch. Ow. Okay. Yeah, how you doing, Mum? And thank you, Buff, for the additional hydrate. Yeah, I don't know what's gone on. It seems like my trigger fire has just broken, because I thought it was just stream elements, but obviously not. Tell you what, because I have infinite monies, let's... well, Vibin's working. Thank you for the treat for Porthos, Mum. He's asleep, so I'll just put it to one side. It's really gonna bug me. Like, they were all working fine, and now I'm guessing just because of the update, they're just not. Anyway, yeah, so... oh dear. Need to water down some more Cantor. Using the watered down Cantor again on the back of the wings. I might have watered it down a bit too much. Oh no, that might work. Oof. There we go. So that's, yeah, you can't really see it on the camera, unfortunately. But that has added a little tiny bit of shading into just the folds of the wings, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. Just a little tiny bit. There are some folks who prefer like really clear delineations between one shade and another on their miniatures. I tend to prefer something that's a little bit more subtle. Doesn't mean that the other way is wrong, and in fact I think it looks very, very nice. It's just not the way I like to paint. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to get this on the camera properly because of where his wings are. Music is a little louder than I am. Okay, let's go for 25 for the music. That should do it. If it's still too loud, let me know. And good luck gluing your tech priest together, Hans. I have a 16-ounce steak for dinner tomorrow, having it with salad and crispy sweet potato medallions. Balsamic vinaigrette. Ooh, that sounds lovely, Cyborg. Very, very nice. You have some of the nicest, fanciest sounding food ever. Did you make the wings or get them off something? The wings came from Wargame exclusive. You can buy them separately from any miniatures. They are like an add-on, I guess, that you can buy. I had been looking at some other miniatures that had wings, but they were all either too small or too big. These are technically a little too big, but I kind of like the look it gives to the miniature overall. It does make him a little bit weighty though, because these are 3D printed resin. And he's plastic and hollow. So it's interesting trying to handle him carefully. Get a little bit more shade there. Oh wow, Porthos is really asleep. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up. I've made some adjustments to my microphone in the hopes that it would pick up less of the background noise. I don't know if it's worked. But in theory, it also means you'll hear less of Porthos snoring when he's on his bed. No, I need a bit of water in that. So even though most of the paint on my wet palette is still perfectly usable from Friday, the bone paint has gone kind of clumpy and solid. And I've noticed, I'm sure paint experts in chat will be able to tell me why, but I've noticed that the paler colours tend to clump up faster, even on a wet palette. Guessing it's something to do with the kind of pigment that's used. Been looking to going back on a paleo style diet for a few weeks. Ah, cool. Is that what you're doing then, Cyborg? Yes, horns. Horns is what I was going to do. Yeah, I've heard paleo diet can be quite good, especially if you've got sort of health issues. It's been recommended to me in the past, but I have other issues that make a paleo diet not as easy. So I eat the things that I know I can eat, and I try to um have a healthier relationship with food, and that works for me. I find myself eating 2 meals a day now, full of relatively fresh meat and veg. Last 3 days, my dinners have mostly been chicken, broccoli, shredded sprouts. Nice. I mean, I'm not a big fan of sprouts, but chicken and broccoli is good. So, how's everyone's week going anyway? That was weird. I thought the music had broken again then. It's in a new and different way. No, it's just a music video. Hmm. I had a grumbly tummy on Monday, but pretty good since. So I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. As somebody who had a grumbly tummy at the weekend, I know how much that can suck. From recent experience, there was a bit of blue paint that was connecting the horn to the wing, so I just booped it off with a bit of metal. That was what that was. Could have used a knife, but I'd got that nearer, so. Going alright, eating like a hobbit with a snack after dinner. That is the best way to live, in my opinion, Buff. I love a good snack. Nothing better than a second breakfast. Which is appropriate considering what we're listening to. Not bad. Been playing Horizon Zero Dawn and drawing Eldar. Like, nice, Cypher. Small Borg is in half term. Seeing my nan on Friday, which always cheers me up. Oh, wonderful. And I bet it's nice to spend some time with Small Borg during half term as well. Obviously, I don't know Small Borg personally, but from what I have heard and seen, seems like a good kid. You done good, Brody. Oh no. I got bone on the blue. It's always shame when that happens. Look at that. Look at that. Shame on me. Dishonor on me. Dishonor on my brush. There we go. Fixed it. Sort of. It'll be fine. Yes, I know Cyborg. You've told me before. One of the only creatures of Middle-earth to tell a Nazgul to fuck off. Yes. Oh, bless him. I hope he feels better soon.
We have happy accidents.
Okay, so Bob Ross still works, apparently. You folks heard that too, right? I'm not hallucinating. I wonder if maybe the connection between Nothing Can Stop Bob Ross. Bob Ross is eternal.
Hero Quest is the best game ever made.
There we go. Okay.
Wrong.
I'm wondering if there was like some connection issues with the server where all of the sounds are stored or something. And it's just, you know, sorted its shit out now. Because it sounds like they're all working again. Every time I handle the squig by its claws, I rub all the claw paint off. think we've got most of the horns now. A little bit of blue showing through there. Ah, we missed a spot. We have missed a spot. It's okay. We can get it. Let's test a theory. What's a good one to test it with? Yeah, we'll test it with that one.
Yes, science!
Okay, Triggerfy is still fucked. I'll fix that later. Bob Ross meeting the Doomslayer. Shotgun sure does have a kick. Both barrels are like good friends. Fabulous cyborg. Okay, so some of the sound commands aren't working, but some of them are. Though I suspect if I rebooted the if I rebooted OBS, it'd start just everything would just work. Okay, so we got horns now. I need to put some shading on the inside of the mouth, which I'm going to do with a coloured ink, because that should give it a nice shine as well. And other than putting some shading on the inside of the wings, I think all that will be left to do on the squig itself then is the little anklet. And just noticed an area where I've not put any shading on the leg. There we go. Them good squig. All squigs are good. They are a good squig, and yes, all squigs are good. We love a good squig. And all squigs are good, so we have lots to love. Okay. I might do like a highlight along the sort of crests of the folds. I don't know what the word is. Words are hard. As well. But I'll do the wash on the inside of the mouth first. I feel like that should be a Mario themed squig with the shrooms there. Yeah, that's just because of the way I decided to paint them. I have seen, I think it was Crystal McDonald did a really, really good Mario squig. Okay, so for this I'm going to use the Regiment brush, which is the biggest one I own, from Army Painter. And then I'm going to figure out where the sweet fuck I've left my red ink. Is it up here? Hello, red ink. There we go. So for the wash on the inside of the mouth, I'm going to use Green Stuff World's Ruby Red Candy Ink. I really like these. They're really vibrant colours, really, really pretty. But they do give a bit of a sheen to wherever you put them. So if you don't want whatever it is to be shiny, don't use them. I think there are ways to sort of unshiny them, but I don't know how yet. I haven't done any research into it. Hopefully this works. That's actually a lot paler than I thought it was going to be. That's fine. What we might do instead is do this like a top coat and then wash with maybe a brown. I'll wash the very, very back with probably Nuln. That looks uncomfortably moist to me. That has given it a upsettingly fleshy appearance, which is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, that'd be alright. So once that's dry, I can go over the darker areas in the mouth with a dark colour. But yeah, that's it wasn't what I intended, but it's actually worked out quite well in spite of that. So didn't they release a squig that was eating a grot at one point? I think they did, Buff, yeah. I know they've released a couple of grots that are like either serving or selling eating squigs as well, because I've got one of them wherever he is. He's super shifty looking. I love him. It's fab. Okay, let's get some darker shades on the underside of the wings. And let's get some fresh paint to do it with, because I don't trust my palette. So for this, I'm going to use a little bit of whole black, which is the Army Painter, just basic black paint. A little splotch of it there. Put that there. Folks that saw my tweet a few weeks back where I was like, look, I've cleaned my hobbying station. It's never going to be this clean again. Witness me. Here we are, and it's a mess again. Like, I try and tidy it up whenever I finish a project, but I've got so many half-finished projects that I end up only tidying away a very small amount of the actual mess. There you go. Oh, right, yeah, I need to... I haven't really watered that down enough, so I'm going to water it down some more before I do any more. It's not a major issue. So I can always just put a little bit more Cantor over the top. But what I can do is use the water on my brush to sort of pull that through, make it less of an issue. Oops. See, now it's so watered down that if I get it in the wrong place, it's not as noticeable. It's good. Need to do a little bit more. Ooh. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do next is try and catch up on the old Hogwarts requests, because I've got quite a few. I genuinely wasn't expecting folks to be as receptive to that as they have been, and I'm very much appreciative of it. But yeah, a lot of requests in a very short space of time. And then I got the wings for this, and I was just like, no, I have a mighty need to paint this friend. Should have done that the other way around. That paint does not taste good. Okay, need a bit more Cantor. Just Cantor on its own. Don't want to come out. It's shy. There we go. Just a little bit. So I'm just going back over some bits because I've been a little heavy-handed on this wing. With the darker shade. I just want to bring some of the original colour back. No, it's been so long since I've actually had to hold a miniature to paint it because of having the painting handle that I forgot how much paint you can just knock off holding it. It's lovely, Geist. We can thank Buff Grinch for this one, apparently. So, nice one, Buff. Very good choice. It's lovely and chill. I mean, the composition of this rendition of it, anyway. That's better. Still a bit fussy about this bit here. Too much of the dark shade. Ooh. There we go. That's better. I think I was a little heavy-handed there as well, so... better. Any chance of an Invader Zim? I have a mighty need! Sound command, definitely, Torpor. I will, pencil. Post-it note. I still have the, different, face component combinations from Tales of Monkey Island on the top of the notepad. That's the last time I used it. Mighty need command. There we go. It's on a bit of paper right in front of my Bob Ross figure, so I will not forget. I say I will not forget, the music goes, don't you forget. I won't, I just said I wouldn't. I'm really liking how he's looking, and like, I generally, as you folks will know by now, will paint something up. Oh, Porthos is awake. Hey, buddy, got a treat for you. There you go. I will generally paint something up and then wash it with Nuln or something similar to, you know, deal with the difficult bits. And I don't feel like I really need to do that with this one. That makes me very happy. Like, I'm gonna have a crack at dry brushing the wings because they've got all these lovely veins on them, and I really want to pick those out if I can. But besides that, I don't think I'm going to be using much in the way of washes on this, because, like, I'll use it for the mouth. Oh, wow, look at that now. Look how shiny that's gone. That's deeply upsetting. It's great. So I'm feeling quite pleased with how this has come out so far. which is unusual for me. Not generally a big fan of my own work. But I feel like I've come a long way, and you can see it in this miniature in particular, which is nice. Right. Before I get into doing anything fancy with the wings, I'm going to use some spaceship exterior, which is the Army Painter off-white colour. So fine. There is White Scar from Citadel. There is Spaceship Exterior. So you can just sort of see the difference there. And the old veggie burgers you used to be able to get that were just veg and potato. Got that for dinner. Wicked. I've not had them in a long time. Don't tend to have stuff like that. Porthos is being cute next to my chair, like he thinks that's gonna get him treats. I would politely request that folks don't just redeem the treat thingy because he's doing that, because it just makes him worse when I'm at work. But he's gotten really tricksy when it comes to his treat acquisition. Like, he knows if he does cute things, he's more likely to get treats. Anything to try and lift my mood. Oh, bless you. I'm sorry you're feeling down at the minute. Okay. So, not quite what I wanted to do. But that's fine. So I've watered the white paint down, the spaceship exterior. I've got a bit too much on there really, so I'll get a little bit of the bone from here. I've not watered this down, but it's super dry, so hopefully this will just take the edge off a bit. Here we go. Hey Grox, how you doing? Right. Try that again. With my brush sorted out first though. That's better. I was aiming for like a little bit of... Hello Porthos, do you want to come up? Work was stressful, but I have beef sugar, chips, and onion rings now. Nice. Slightly jealous. I think... Come on. Oh. Thank you, Porthos. It's like trampling me there. Super helpful. And of course, he's right under the microphone again. Oi. There we go. It's so difficult to get you in shot these days, sweetheart. Oof. Yes, Brody's right there. The good foods, definitely. I think I've got pizza for tea tonight. Thank you for the scratches for Portos, Crocs. Give him a big scratch because he's been very quiet all stream until recently, so. Look at that. Oh, is that good? Is that good? Don't use me boom arm as a headrest. I think he enjoyed that. You even got a little bit of dog ASMR at the end there when he smacked his lips together. Oh, yeah, song's finished. I am gonna add a little bit of white to the bone that's here. Oops. Porthos has put another point into the Diva perk tree. Always. He's maxed it out twice already. Haven't you? Yeah. No. Your breath smells. And you lick your butt all day. I'm not gonna let you give me a kiss. Sorry. I can kiss you, but you can't kiss me. Ah! Oh, is that how it is? Okay, sorry folks. This is the Porthos cuddle stream now. Cause the baby needs his love. You were saying, mother? Steady. Okay. Trying to think of the best way of doing this. I think a little bit of the Doom Ball that's on here would be a good idea, actually. Very little bit. So I've got some Doom Ball Brown. I'm going to take some of the skeleton bone. Preferably not too much. The Doom Ball. Have I fucked it up? Oh no, maybe that's a too pink of a colour. Yeah, it's too pink. Hey, Penguin Sentinel, how you doing? Okay, so that's not going to work because it's not the right kind of colour. So if we try... Doing much better today. I'm glad to hear that. Daft as it may sound, I always worry when any of you lot are not doing so well.
Hello there.
When you're poorly or when you're having a tough time of it. So it's always nice when I hear that you're doing a bit better. Even if it's only a little bit. Progress is progress. So what I'm doing is I've taken a really small amount of the black and I'm slowly adding the bone colour to it. So that I get a sort of bone grey. There we go, that's better. It's not quite what I had in mind, but it'll do. Trying to get a little bit of a gradient in there, basically. Oh, bless you, Penguin. Yeah, sometimes you just need to have like a cathartic cry, don't you? I do stuff like that a lot. I'm gonna have to fix the this because I've noticed that I wiped that that bone stuff off of the Squig's head, but it didn't properly go away. Oh, bless you, Brody. That's okay. You take care. Go do a big self-care. Get yourself all like cozy and stuff. Maybe have a hot chocolate if you can. Something like that. Or a nice warm drink of some description. And be kind to yourself. Been lovely to have you here. You take care, okay? The tribute music videos always made me chuckle. Oh, yes, Porthos. I think he just stopped me from painting. Can I? Are you gonna let me? Yeah? Oh, cuddle pup. You big soft baby. You're making this very difficult, little mate. You changed your mind. That's fair. Okay. So I want to try and put some like dark grey streaks, very thin dark grey streaks on the horns. I'm not going to be able to do it with the detail brush. I'll need to go one size smaller. One problem with some of the characters that GW makes is so much trouble to customize them. And their monopose butts. They don't have a lot of kits that look like the character to easily convert over. Yeah. I mean, there's some places that, not necessarily 40k stuff, but just sort of generally, that do kits where you've got multiple different parts so you can do different poses, and like some of them are, they've got a female torso and a male torso, and lots of different heads and, you know, things like that, which is really cool. And I wish GW would do more stuff like that. Okay, just so that people know, RSLW can be good for that. Yeah, Artel's stuff is really, really nice. All of it's really nice. Just so people know that I'm not cheaty pantsing. I am using the insane detail, not the psycho. I refuse to use the psycho again until I have sorted out my psycho counter, because I promised you folks a psycho counter, and you will get it. Fire Porthos. Sorry if this is kind of hard to see. It's sort of working how I wanted it to, though. So that's a tick in the plus column. Some GW kits aren't great for arse. Having said that, a pair of tech priest engineers has been assembled. Pictures on the Discord. Wicked, I'll take a look after the stream, Hands. This is why I've got a half dozen legs in a bag. Yeah, I've got a sack of skulls, for similar reasons. And it is basically a sack. It's the largest zippy bag I could find. Sadly, some tournaments are more strict than GW are about their Forge World events. Yeah, that's... I know some tournaments can be really rough when it comes to what you're allowed to use, which is a shame. I think that can be quite... what's the word? I think it can make it difficult for some people to get into the tournament scene. Like, there is a very definite barrier to entry in miniature painting. Well, not miniature painting, but in miniature wargaming. Especially with certain armies. When it comes to the financial aspect of it, especially considering the sort of rise in price of start collecting boxes and things like that GW do. Now, I appreciate there are reasons for that. Tooling has gotten better. The miniatures are, in a lot of cases, a lot more detailed than they used to be. And the production process, especially because of the global parts shortage right now, is more costly than it used to be. So I totally get that. There you go, Hans. But if Chaos Space Marines are too expensive and detailed for me, yeah, Chaos Space Marines are, as a Chaos Space Marines builder, a butt to deal with. They really are. And I'm sorry to hear that, Hans. It seems like these OBS updates have just fucked everything tonight. It does look like the music's still quite loud, so I'm going to drop it down to 10. Because that's coming out as really, really loud at my end. I concur, Chaos Space Marines are evil with regards to assembly and painting. Hey Modhell, how you doing? Yeah, it's had a major update today, Hans. Or since I last streamed at any rate, so sometime between Sunday afternoon and now. Yeah, the song was also quite loud, but you folks struggling to hear me in the first place was definitely an OBS thing. It seems some of my settings have been screwed up. That's fine. It's an easy enough fix. But yeah, it can be the financial side of things can be a real barrier to entry. Like if you want to play, okay. I know this is an extreme example, but you go into Games Workshop for the first time and you see orcs or goblins and you go, I love them. Nothing else in this world is as perfect as these tiny little things, and I must have them, and I wish to fight with them. But orc lists and goblin lists can be prohibitively expensive because of the values required to get enough to play. And I appreciate my view may be a little bit tainted by the fact that I haven't played the newer edition. But if you're not playing a kill team type game, you're just playing a normal game, the amount of miniatures you need, depending on the army that you've got, can make it very, very difficult. Especially if you've not got the income to actually supplement that kind of habit, as it were. Drugs would be cheaper in some situations than 40k, which is an upsetting thought. Yeah, that's fair, Kian. It works. I just want to have fun with mini-related stuff, so stuff with less models like Necromunda and Kill Team's better for me. Yeah, same here, Buff. Like, I've got a Kill Team's worth of Eldar. I've got a Kill Team... Well, I've actually got a full army's worth of Night Lords now, thanks to a couple of people. I really need to finish them. I've got an entire Sanctuary's worth of Squigs, but I can't use them for anything, because the rules are different to how it used to be. I play Guard. Drugs would be a lot cheaper. Yes, exactly, Hans. Guard is another one I was thinking of. It's just, you need so many miniatures. It's death by 1,000 plastic cuts with armies like that. It really is. And they're great armies, and there's some wonderfully painted sets out there, you know? I'm not faulting them. I'm just... If you're running a tournament and you're saying to people you have to have exclusively GW minis, everything's got to be WYSIWYG, that's what you see is what you get. in case anyone's going, "The fuck did you just say?" And those kind of things. It can, especially new people that have never been in a tournament setting before, it can put them off. Like, I have never entered a tournament, partly because nothing I paint makes any fucking sense. My Night Lords are based entirely on my Black Crusade RP character. And it could be very easily argued that they're not canon. But, you know, when I build something, when I paint something, I do it because I'm enjoying it, because it's fun. If I can play against a friend with the stuff that I've built and painted, all the better. But yeah, I would never brave a tournament purely because I'm pretty sure I'd get turned away for having weird, stupid shit in my army. Plus, with Garden Orcs, you also have painting burnout. Painting 30 minis just to have a bunch of points on the table as a bare Space Marine squad. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's another reason that I'm glad that I'm not like actively playing anything that I can take the squigs in. I mean, if I can ever find somebody that's willing to play AOS nearby, Armored Contempt got me a copy of the Squigpocalypse rules a while back, so I could totally do a Squigpocalypse army. Oh, that's a little too much of the dark. Let's fix that. This has worked out quite nicely. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I'll take the win where I can. Just like with eyes, one of them looks great, the other one looks alright. I'm hoping folks can see what I was trying to go for with the horns now. Like, bring them a bit closer. So you often find with horns, like tusks and stuff like that, that there's a certain amount of sort of greying and darkening at the base where it connects to the body. And I kind of wanted to try and go for that. It's not worked out exactly how I wanted it to, but it's not come out too bad. And this should fix the problem a little bit. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Hans. I'm glad you think so. Especially seeing as this is your representation within the sanctuary. Yeah. If you didn't like it, then I'd be scuppered, wouldn't I? This is not a case of WYSIWYG. I can't use one kind of text priest as I stand in for another without getting approval. Ah, I see. Even though God only has one kind of tech priest in the book, so it's not like they're different stat lines. Ah, that sucks. Thank you, Modhail, for the stretch, and if chat will scroll up for me, there we go. Okay, no, it won't scroll up. Everything is just Posture check. Ah, there we go. Thank you for the stretch and the posture check. I'll do those now. Hey. So, get a little sip. I'm gonna have a little sip as well because I'm kind of thirsty. I'd probably need approval from my Isabella Von Archon mini for my Drakari for a tournament since it's shorter than an Archon. Oh, really? Huh. See, that's a weird one as well. Like, is it? I don't know much, so you'll have to forgive me here. Is it an official mini? Because if it is, then surely it should just be auto-approved, even if it's short. It's very cute. Thank you, Penguin. I make my armies to a theme. Yeah, I like to go for a theme as well. I mean, obviously, the theme for the squigs is squigs. But yeah, a theme is fun. I've been trying to decide what I want to do with my Eldar. I've seen some really cool, like, cyberpunk, synthwave Eldar in the past, and I'd love to try that. But everyone that I know that's done it has done it with a airbrush, and I don't have an airbrush, so I could try and find a way to do it without an airbrush. That'd be fun. Okay. What do we have left to do on you? Dry brush the wings. Put some highlights on your teeths. I really like the way that ink's turned out, even though it didn't do what I wanted it to do. It looks good.
Get nice and moist for me,
Major reason I
won't
don't
you?
go to tournaments, say my unwillingness to even consider whether this or that mini will be approved. My hobby, my mini, my conversions. You don't get to say if it's not valid. If it's valid or not. Yeah, exactly, Modhale. I'm with you there. Tournaments attract rule meta exploiting WAAC ass. WAAC holes. At least in the NL. Netherlands. Okay, and I find them fucking tedious to deal with. Also completely fair. Very much depends on the organisers how strict they are on models and conversions. Play one small tournament where having unpainted models just lost you victory points, but you still got to play. See, that's another thing. So Slow and I, a couple of years back, went to a tournament that was being run by a community member. Thank you for the hydrate and the posture check, Mum. And because it was run by a community when it all cost. Ah, I see, Modhale, thank you. Because it was run by a community member, it'd be great if your models are painted, but we understand if they're not all fully painted and assembled. As long as, you know, they work, as it were. And Slow felt really bad because he hadn't managed to get all of his painted. And I think he was the only person that hadn't. So there was that sort of shame there because of that. In spite of the fact that the tournament organizer was just like, no, it's fine. Because there was an award for best painted army, which was separate from the points you got for actually participating. I might just do all of the creases with the normal, just because I'm feeling lazy. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Got a little bit of Nuln on the bottom of the horns there. Oh, nice one, Torpor. Others will tell you to remove models from your army if they don't follow their painting rules or withdraw from the tournament. Yeah. And that's the thing, like, if I ever decided to organise a tournament for Warhammer, I would... Yeah, that's also fair, Penguin. Love a good narrative campaign. If I was ever to organise a tournament, I would have it be, as long as you've got written down somewhere what something is, it doesn't matter if it's not WYSIWYG, doesn't matter if it's all miniatures from the same company, because especially with stuff like Lord of the Rings, it's really hard to get hold of some of the miniatures these days because they've not been produced in a long time. As long as you're being consistent in your application of the rules, and you're being consistent in what your miniatures represent on the table, and you're not being a dick, that would be my rules. I know there needs to be more to it than that, and I've never organised a tournament before, so, you know, what I'm saying is probably bullshit. But I'd want it to be something that newcomers could join in without feeling intimidated by the amount of red tape they have to go through. Something friendly. And heck, if it could be narrative as well, you know, a tournament as part of a narrative, an ongoing series of tournaments that forms a narrative campaign, that could be fun. But yeah, that's just me waxing lyrical. Don't mind me. So I've got to put some more bone on the toesies, because I've rubbed it off with my fingers again. I mean, it's not like the base is so small that I can't hold it, you know? God, I hope I didn't slip and get that on the wing then. Oh, apparently when I was doing the shading, I got some on the teeth. Just tidy them up. Silly me. Grand Tournament package that GW sells has it so that a painted army starts with 10 victory points over an unpainted army. I think most tournaments using the GW rules will include that just as default. I don't like that. I don't like that. It puts a lot of pressure on people. Not heard this in a while. They obviously put into GT to encourage people to spend money on paint and brushes. Yeah. So we're painting white armoured word bearers. This will be fun. Oof. Good luck, Kenk. And also, hello, I hope you're doing well, aside from the natural anxiety that comes with having to paint any white armour at all. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with how he's looking. I think he's looking good. Oh yeah. Interesting development for you folks. Now, I can't remember if I told you this already, so please forgive me if I have. But last month, I got in touch through the contact page of the website with the person who runs the Squig Wrangling website. You know, the neat little website that I use for keeping track of all the squigs that have come out over the years. The website that introduced me to the delightful little Nebel. I got in touch with them and basically said, "Hey, do you want to like chat about squigs and minis and stuff?" Because I thought it would be really interesting. This person clearly knows a lot about the history of squigs in particular, but I got the feeling they probably knew quite a fair bit about sort of old hammer as well, as they call it. And much to my joy, they replied. Gotta go put the youngest to bed, then I've got a selection meeting. Best of luck, both with putting youngest to bed and with the selection meeting. I hope it all goes well. Take care, Cypher. It's been lovely to have you here. Yeah, they replied, and I've actually got another email from them that they sent today that I need to reply to. But yeah, we've been sort of on and off, I guess, for want of a better description, chatting about projects, and they have seen Hans the Squiggan and quite like him. So that's neat. What I might do when we've conversed a little bit more is I might just like have a stream where I talk to you folks about what kind of projects they're working on and the history behind the website and stuff like that. You know, when I know more. If folks are interested, of course. Like, I'd love to have them guest on the stream and just sort of chat with them, but there's, you know, timing issues and all that sort of stuff to think about, and whether they'd be interested in doing it in the first place. So I'm doing a lot of kit bashing and converting. Do you want to see? Yes, I do, Kenk. Yes, I damn well do. For the record, folks in chat, if you ever want to know if I would like to see the hobby stuff you've been working on, and it doesn't have to be miniatures, it could be a sewing project, it could be a painting, it could be poetry, anything. If you've got a hobby that you enjoy doing and you want to share it with us, if you want to ask whether I want to see it, whether we want to see it, the answer is always yes. Always, always yes. No, I haven't, Penguin. I'll have a look. I've joined the Paint Slam Discord now, so if they're on there, I'll go have a look on there. I've not said anything on the Paint Slam Discord. They're in the Hobby Shack. I will take a look after the stream then, Kenk. Thank you very much. Lots of exciting things to look at after the stream. I am very excited. But yeah, we always want to see what folks are working on. If you want to share your love of something with us, you want to share your passion projects, you want to share your hobbies with us, then by all means do. part of the reason that the jukebox is open in the way that it is, and why I'm so desperate to keep it that way, is because it gives you folks an opportunity to share something else that you love. That being music. You know, it gives you the opportunity to share with everybody maybe a band that we've never heard of. Or just a song that has special meaning to you that you want other people to enjoy. I feel bad for people who can't paint their minis for various reasons, like disabilities and stuff. They go to a tournament, does that painted army rule still apply to them? If so, they get fucked over by the rule unless they get their army commission painted. Yeah, exactly, Buff. That's another reason I don't like rules like that. I had a friend who, he was actually one of the people that helped me learn how to paint. He sat with me when I first started going to GW. And he would just sit next to me and we'd chat, and he'd go, "Oh, well, you can use this paint for this," or he'd be like painting something himself, and I'd go, "Oh wow, how have you done that?" And he'd explain how he'd done whatever it was, because I'd literally just started hobbying. This is 10, 11 years ago. God, it was more than that now, isn't it? Shit. This is over a decade ago. There we go. And he was lovely. And he was a very talented painter as well. He won the local game store painting competition 2 or 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very talented. He was also a cosplayer, you know, so we've got a lot in common. And I got on really well with him, and still do, for the record. He sort of disappeared, and I figured he'd, like, moved away or something like that. And it turned out he hadn't. I actually ended up working at the same place as him for a while, a few years back, and he'd developed a chronic illness that left him unable to paint, could barely walk. He was very, very reliant on his partner for most of his daily needs. I mean, he could still work, clearly, because, you know, we work together, but he couldn't make props anymore. He couldn't paint anymore, and it was devastating. He had to give up the hobby because he couldn't paint his minis anymore. Felt so bad for him. But yeah, folks like him wouldn't be able to enter tournaments if that rule is just applied consistently to everybody, regardless of circumstances. I mean, I'm very, very lucky. As much as I do have problems with my hands and things like that, they're not a persistent problem, so I can still paint for you folks, and for me as well. Because at the end of the day, it's what I do for me that matters, isn't it? But there are folks out there that aren't as fortunate as me when it comes to their chronic illness diagnoses. And I'd hate to think that people are being excluded because of that, you know? So I'd hope that tournament organisers would be willing to bend the rules. You know? And I know I've been rambling and some song requests have been put in the jukebox, and I have not kept up with
Hello there.
where are we at? Okay. Found a lovely blue back which works wonderfully once liberally. Oh dear. Where is it? Hit with no. Ah, fabulous. My OBS is being such a pain tonight. I just want to read what's in chat, and it's just like, nah. Some tournaments dock you painting points if someone else painted your army for you. Really, Mod Hell? That's fucking bullshit. It's apparently something that is more common in US tournaments where there are far more painting services active. Getting your army pro painted is more common. Right. See? Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Don't be a dick applies to organisers too. Yeah, exactly, Penguin. My next would be Raptors and Havoc Kit Bashes. Nice, Kenk. Looking forward to that. Okie dokie, Hans, you enjoy your shower. And just in case I'm not streaming, it's been lovely to have you here. Take care. Be thou not a Pernus, shall be the whole of the law. Yes, exactly, Modhale. That is my general approach to this as well. Don't be a dick, and then you're welcome. But there are a lot of things that fall into that category. But yeah, if I was organising a tournament, anybody that had their army painted for them would be excluded from the painting award portion, but they wouldn't be excluded from the tournament. And they wouldn't be docked points for having had somebody paint their army for them. If you can afford to do that, that's great, good for you. If you've done it because you can't paint your own army, that's fine too. You know, I don't care. I don't care if it's painted. I don't care if it's assembled, as long as, you've got enough of an assembled miniature that you can move it around the board without it exploding. I appreciate that they have to have certain rules in place because otherwise people will do stupid shit. And again, be dicks. But yeah, I think unless those rules are carefully thought about and applied only when necessary, it can be very exclusionary for some people. And that's a real shame, because honestly, the thing I want more than anything else in this world, is for tabletop wargaming and RPing to become something that people aren't afraid to get into. I love, absolutely adore Critical Role and the stuff that they do, but I am aware that there are people that are afraid to get into RPing and afraid to DM because they've only seen Critical Role and they think that they have to be Matt Mercer and a bunch of voice actors playing D&D. They think they have to be that level of quality to begin with. Another really good choice, Torpor. Fucking love this track. Yeah, I want this to be an inclusive space. It's why I'm the way I am about these streams. I want you folks, and anybody new that comes in and sees us doing this, to feel like hey, maybe I could do that. I kind of want to do that. I'm going to give it a go. The reason that, as much as I don't rate my own painting, I know I've gotten better. Particularly in the last couple of years, I've gotten better. But I'm not a professional painter, and I'm never going to pretend I am. I am an enthusiastic amateur. I really am. Everything I do is an experiment. And I do this on the stream, and I fuck up on stream, not intentionally, admittedly. And I go, it's okay, I'll dust myself off and carry on stream. Because I want people out there that are afraid to get into hobbying because they've only seen professional painters on Instagram to feel like they can do it. Everybody starts somewhere different. We're all on our own journey. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as they're being nice to each other and they're being nice to themselves, the more the fucking merrier. Let's have a big, happy hobby family. You know? The more ways you can find to include people, the more ways people get to have fun and make new friends. Exactly, Buff. Exactly. I want to break down this fear that this is a difficult thing to get into. It's not. All levels of skill, all levels of interest are welcome. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. Okay. My paint has done something weird. You see that? That's it's a metallic paint. It's not a colour shifting paint, but it has changed colour when I've applied it to the miniature, and now I am freaking the fuck out. Fucking pixies have been at my paints and changed all the labels. Okay. So we're not going to use that one because it's being weird. Let's go for this one, maybe? Very much that. Yeah, exactly. Buff has said in a short sentence what I have been rambling about and trying to get the point across for. Not being able to hobby at the moment is really getting to me. Oh, Nikki, bless you. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Oh, shit. That one got a bit overexcited and made a mess. That big old blob there was supposed to be a tiny little blob. This is very much not. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that, Nikki. I hope whatever... Ah, right, hang on. That was a really awkward time to need to cough, because I was trying to say something heartfelt. Thank you, body, for ruining my heartfelt moment. Right hand is out of commission. I'm so sorry to hear that, Nikki. I really, really hope that whatever's happened to your hand is something that heals up soon, or that desists soon, for want of a better description. Because I know you've got some issues similar to myself, don't you? Carpal tunnel. Oof. Oh, sweetheart. I'm so sorry to hear that. I should really hold this by the base so I don't have to repaint any of it. Been in an odd headspace of late, so the 2 cadet commercials are the first thing I've actually done this year. Yeah, and sometimes it gets you like that. I mean, I don't know what it is about squigs. I just find them really easy to paint, even when I'm not really in a hobbying mood. That's one of the reasons I like them so much, is they just feel easy for me. But before I started streaming hobby stuff for you all, I was painting maybe 1 miniature a year, if that. Because I'd spend I'd go into like super hyper focus mode and would just sit on the floor and paint an entire character model in a single sitting, but it'd be like an 8-hour sitting with me on the floor with my legs crossed, just focusing on this miniature and nothing else. I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't drink, I'd just paint. And then I'd be really burnt out because I'd done that, and I'd be in a lot of pain because I'd been sitting on the floor with my legs crossed for 8 hours without moving. So then I wouldn't paint anything, and I'd be too stressed out, or I'd be too tired, and every time I'd go, oh, I'm going to paint something, I just wouldn't. Something would happen and I wouldn't do it. Or on the rare occasions when I still felt like doing it and was going to, I'd have problems with my hands. You know, my joints would lock up and things like that, or I'd have a flare up and I'd be asleep. And it was awful. Streaming hobby content for you folks has really pushed me to do more painting. And I'm not saying that if you're struggling to hobby, you should start streaming it. But having a supportive community of people, a group of people that I can talk to and share ideas with, and who can share ideas with me, has really, really helped to get me out of that sort of funk I was in when it came to my hobbying. And I know there are going to be situations where, like in Nikki's case, that's not really going to help, because you're not very well right now and you need to rest, basically. But there we go. That was nice and easy because I just used a metallic paint. Very lazy. But for those of you that do get into that sort of, you end up stuck in your bubble and you lose your motivation because you're trapped in that bubble, there's a whole host of us here that are happy to sit in the bubble with you and maybe help you come back out of it. And I really do think the community element of hobbying, like, you know, popping into your local game store on a painting night or whatever they have. We had Vets Night at ours. Can really, really help. Having that little bit of a community there that you can share with can be really helpful, really beneficial. And it can give you fresh eyes on a thing that you've been struggling with as well. I think we've made really good progress with Hans the Squiggan tonight. He's basically fully painted. I've got to sort his plume of fire out. Don't know how I'm going to do that. That's going to be an interesting one. I've never done anything like that before. He's got some nice shading on him. All I've got left to do is dry brush the veins on the wings so that they pop a little bit more. and then add some shading to the mushrooms on the base. And obviously sort the fire out, which I already said. But yeah, I think we're fixed to finish him on Friday, as long as I get the fire sorted out before Friday's stream. Wouldn't that be nice? Hey, look at me finishing miniatures on stream. Oh, this is neat. What a jaunty little track. It's Kirby, isn't it? Well, sort of. Hey, Porthos. Yes, I know, it's time, isn't it? Porthos wants to go out, and it's 2 minutes before my usual finishing time. And I think we're at a point now that, you know, I think we can leave him until Friday, can't we? So what do you folks think of Hans the Squiggan? Looking really good. Thank you, Nikki. Glad you think so.
Goodbye.
Really nice. Thank you, Grox. Thank you, Torpor, as well. And Buff. And thank you for being here. Okay, I'm gonna
Goodbye.
put the cover on my wet palette, and then Hans the Squiggan can live on top of it. Thank you, Modhell. Right. And we'll put that there. So... massive thank you everyone for coming along tonight. I know it's been a little bit rough because of the updates. Oh, Nikki, I'm so glad to hear that. And I really do hope you're feeling better soon. You're most welcome, Torpor. Thank you for being here. Yeah, seriously, thank you everyone for coming along tonight. I was a bit worried it was going to be a rough one, and then with all the tech issues at the start, I was even more worried. But as always, you folks have reminded me that even a technically difficult stream can be a fun one. So yeah, thank you. There aren't words for how much I appreciate you lot, and not only the way you've driven me to get back into hobbying properly and, you know, be more involved in the hobby community at large, but it's the fact that you make me want to be better in many, many ways, just by being the wonderful people you are. So thank you for being yourselves and for making me feel better about being myself. Now, let's see who we've got that's live. Oh, okay. So, I've been threatening to raid Fresh since he started streaming, and every time I've threatened it, he's not. No, I shall not stop giving you the feels, Grox. So there. Every time I've threatened to raid him, he's gone offline, and he's still live. So we're gonna raid Fresh. Okay, everybody. I will be back on Friday with some more Hobby Happy Hour. We'll finish off Hans the Squiggan. Maybe get some names on some squigs, and start on the next squig in my Old Hogwarts Curse request list. And hopefully I'll get to see you all then. And hopefully we'll have less tech issues then. And as always, until I do see you next, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Wash your fucking hands. And have a great rest of your week, everybody. Whatever you're doing. Oh, And just one last thing. In this channel, we stand with Ukraine. Stay safe out there, everybody. Now go say hi to Fresh for me. Hands already went off to wash. Thanks, Torpor. Fucking terrible joke, and I've not got the bad joke button with me. Bye!